She was America's sweetheart and then Hollywood's villain before turning into Oscar award-winning royalty. But who is Anne Hathaway really? We'll look at her childhood, her mental struggles, her relationships and controversies, and we'll even cover her earnings and net worth. From the Princess Diaries to the Devil Wears Prada to Les Misérables, Anne's career is as unpredictable as her public image. Anne Hathaway, the Hollywood chameleon, fame, fortune, and fierce roles. Anne Jacqueline Hathaway was born on November 12, 1982 in Brooklyn, New York. But her story doesn't start with showbiz, it starts with Shakespeare, literally. She was named after Anne Hathaway, the wife of William Shakespeare. Anne was raised in Millburn, New Jersey. Millburn is a small town of about 20,000 people that sits about 15 miles west of Midtown Manhattan. Anne came from a creative and ambitious family. Her mother, Kate, was a stage actress. Her father, Gerald, a labor attorney. She has one older brother, Michael, and one younger brother, Thomas. Anne was raised as a strict Catholic, and she once considered becoming a nun with dreams of joining a convent. But at the age of 8, when she saw her mother perform in Les Misérables, everything changed. She began dreaming of becoming an actress. She also says that her relationship with the church changed when she was 15, when she learned that her older brother was gay and her family left the church because of this. She studied at Vassar College, later transferring to NYU's Gallatin School, but she didn't need a degree to land a breakthrough. In 1999, Anne starred in the short-lived TV series Get Real. 2 years later, at just 18, she was cast as Mia Thermopolis in The Princess Diaries, a role that launched her into global stardom. The film was a massive hit, grossing over $165 million worldwide. Anne's earnings, a modest $400,000. She followed that film with wholesome roles in Ella Enchanted, Nicholas Nickleby, and The Other Side of Heaven, earning her a reputation as Hollywood's good girl. But Anne was eager to break that mold. In 2006, she landed the role of Andy Sachs in The Devil Wears Prada, opposite Meryl Streep. It was a career-defining pivot. Fun fact, the role was initially offered to Rachel McAdams 3 times. Anne earned $1 million for the role. More importantly, she proved she could go toe-to-toe with Hollywood's royalty. Behind the scenes, the shoot was grueling, but on screen, it was electric. Anne was no longer just the Disney girl, she was a force. From there, Hathaway made bold moves. She earned critical acclaim in Rachel Getting Married, played author Jane Austen in Becoming Jane, and stripped down emotionally and literally in Love and Other Drugs. Her transformation continued in The Dark Knight Rises, where she stunned as Selina Kyle, Catwoman, an action role that nobody would have guessed she could pull off. Her earnings? A cool $7.5 million. She trained in Krav Maga, ballet, and cycling to perfect the role, but she didn't just train, she embodied it. In 2012, Hathaway took on the role of Fantine in Les Misérables. It demanded total surrender. She lost 25 pounds, shaved her head, and recorded I Dreamed a Dream live in a single take. This resulted in an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Her acceptance speech was emotional, maybe too emotional for some. The internet turned. The performance, once praised, was mocked. In 2013, a strange phenomenon occurred, the rise of the Hathahaters. She was called fake, overly rehearsed, too perfect. People hated how much she tried. But why? Some say it was sexism, others overexposure, some couldn't stand her elegance. Anne disappeared from the public eye for months. Before Adam Schulman, there was scandal. Anne dated Italian real estate developer Raffaello Fallerini, who was later convicted of fraud. Anne was not implicated, but the media firestorm was brutal. She has also been linked to actor Topher Grace, who she dated from 1999 to 2001, restaurateur Scott Sartiano, who she dated in 2002, actor James Holzer, also dated in 2002, and her co-star Hugh Dancy, who she dated from 2002 to 2004. She later met actor and businessman Adam Schulman. The two were married in 2012 in Big Sur, California. They have 2 sons and live a low-key, eco-conscious life. Anne rarely discusses her children, fiercely guarding their privacy. Another controversy occurred in 2012. In December of that year, when Anne was in New York for a premiere of Les Misérables, a harebrained paparazzi caught her as she exited a limo by crouching down and taking a photo right up her skirt. She happened to not be wearing any underwear at the time, and the photo gained widespread attention. The controversy deepened when Today Show host Matt Lauer ambushed Anne with an oddball comment/question about it to lead off their interview one morning. Anne handled the interaction gracefully and pivoted the conversation back to her movie. Lauer was, of course, later fired in 2017 after accusations of sexual misconduct. Let's take a detailed look at Anne's film career. Her net worth these days is estimated to be between $80 and $90 million. We've seen her salary creep up over the years, and she now routinely earns between $5 and $15 million per film. She has been in dozens of successful, popular films. The 2 largest appear to be The Dark Knight Rises in 2012 and Alice in Wonderland in 2010, both of which earned over $1 billion apiece in box office revenues. But she's been in a handful of flops as well. Song 1, released in 2014, was reported to have earned only $400,000 despite a $6 million budget. And the film Havoc, released in 2005, earned only $370,000 against a $9 million budget. How about some trivia and some little-known facts about Anne? She's a trained soprano. She once had a panic attack on stage at age 18. She's close with Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Emily Blunt. She hosted the Oscars with James Franco once. It was an awkward disaster. And she was vegan for years but gave it up for health reasons. Anne is also an outspoken advocate for women's rights, LGBTQ equality, and mental health awareness. Anne Hathaway is a rare kind of star. She has survived the unforgiving spotlight, online mockery, typecasting, and tabloid scandal, and still she shines. She once said, "I've always felt like an outsider, but maybe that's where my power is." Upcoming roles include indie dramas, a directorial debut, and more producing work. Her story isn't over, not by a long shot. From Princess Diaries to Oscar stages, Anne Hathaway is a woman who rewrote her narrative again and again. What's your favorite Anne Hathaway performance? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next deep dive into Hollywood's most fascinating stars.